Hi, everybody. It's Heather, and it's Wednesday, and it's a pretty cold Wednesday. Last week, I did my check-in in shirt sleeves on my back deck, but don't think I'd be doing that today. I pumped gas into the van around 5 o'clock and just about froze, and really wished I'd taken a hat with me. February is a month like that. Somebody once said that February is only 28 days long because we couldn't take any more of it. It's that month that's poised perfectly when we're getting tired of winter and spring is not yet here. In fact, won't be here for quite a while. And although the days are brightening up and the nights are not quite as short as they were, it's still definitely winter. And so I was thinking myself, especially where I think that my own resources are getting a bit depleted these days, I was thinking about the self care piece. And for me, self care is not what the advertising agencies or the people who want to sell you stuff would say. In that thinking, that self care is a spa day or a treat to yourself or some indulgent dessert you buy because you deserve it. And anytime anybody in the ad system says you deserve it, I kind of pop of disbelief. It's like, do I deserve it or do you want me to have it? So I've become really suspicious of that brand of self care. The type of self care more and more I've realized that works for me is is the idea that I'm taking care of myself when today's self does things that are going to make tomorrow's self's life easier. So, for instance, I struggle getting in exercise. I talk about exercise from time to time, and I really mean it. And I believe that when I do it, my body feels better. But I have huge motivational problems getting to it. And so for me, exercise is self care because if I do it today, then tomorrow's self is going to feel better. I was listening to a CBC show that talked about how we are not born to exercise. What we are born to do is to move. And because we live in a society so full of conveniences that we never even need to elevate our heart rate all day, week after week, we are not getting enough physical activity to activate the repair processes that keep our bodies healthy. And so our bodies tend to resist exercise, and then we get mad at ourselves because we're not doing the exercise. But the reality is if we can get around to doing it, it is one of those things that will make us feel better later. And so that's why I think it's an aspect of self-care. And if you don't want to go to the gym, don't go to the gym. Just get outside and take a walk because getting outside can also be self-care. Getting out in the fresh air, change of scenery, being able to see other living things than your housemates. All those are pretty good too. Self-care is about eating your vegetables. Not because you're cutting out all treats, but because the vegetables are good for you. And if you eat them first, then you're sure you've got them in, and they will make you feel better tomorrow. Self-care is about taking your meds and your vitamins and making sure the daily things like brushing your teeth and stuff like that, just ordinary things that when you do them regularly keep your health on an even keel. Self-care is about having hard conversations with people when they need to be had, about speaking your truth even when it's not popular, about seeking support even when you fear that others don't want to hear from you. Stepping forward in those places takes courage, but I also think of those as self-care. Another kind of self-care that nobody talks about is making deferred decisions. Sometimes I can get so stressed about something that I can't bear to make the decision. And then I'll make the decision months later, who knows how much longer later. And then I look back from the other side and I go, why didn't I do that ages ago? I have just relieved myself of so much stress and so much worry and have given me a direction to go forward. Self-care is about pursuing hobbies and doing things that are meaningful to you. And it doesn't matter whether or not they're meaningful to the rest of the world. If your creative spirit is being fed, then that's self-care. And I want to give you permission to do these things. Sometimes I think the world wants us to hold back on a lot of this stuff, or is punitive, gets in our case when we don't do these sorts of things. And that's not what I want to say at all. What I want to say is You are worthy. You're God's good creation. And you are worthy of the effort that you put in to maintain your life and your body and your spirit. Because that really is what I believe God created us for, to find our full potential, to take care of ourselves, to take care of each other. And we can't do that important work of taking care of each other and the world until first we take care of ourselves. Only got a couple more weeks of February. Valentine's Day is coming up on Sunday. Hang in there and find the beauty in the winter day, and hold on until we see you again. Heather out.